I am having a thought girl summer. Now, if you're not on Brainrot TikTok, let me just enlighten you. It was a thing where you would kind of like interview people and you would say like gay son or thought daughter. And this is like THOT daughter, right? But that is not the type of thought daughter that I am. The thought daughter summer that I am having, let me pull up a definition for you off of Urban Dictionary. Now, according to Urban Dictionary, this is the definition of thought daughter. This is THOUGHT daughter. Strives to be pathologically introspective, thinks she's very deep, smart, and sensitive. Might have an unhealthy obsession with everything. Likes listening to Lorde, Lana Del Rey. Favorite movies, Lady Bird. She also has an unhealthy obsession with the bell jar, which I have read. May year of rest and relaxation. Basically, thought daughter is just like having times of introspection and reflection, which is what I have done pretty much all summer. I have had all summer to just be in my thoughts and think. So if you haven't heard of the thought daughter because you're not on that side of brain rot like I am, now you know what it is. One thing about being a thought daughter is I think like peak thought daughter times, I guess, are mornings, like when you first wake up and you're kind of just don't look at your phone. You're just thinking about like dreams, what you had the night before. And then for me, a big one is when I exercise, especially if it's like going on a walk or a run. And this summer, like I found good music, but I've kind of just been listening to podcasts, but also if you watched my last vlog, you would know I lost my AirPods. So also like I've just been listening to my thoughts, like just straight up writing a whole, honestly, like journal in my brain. When I listen to these podcasts, I feel like it's a lot of podcasts like Chamberlain podcasts where it's like the ones where she interviews people. And I feel like every time she asks like a question to whoever she's interviewing, I like answer it in my head, which just make me like, it's just like reflection time, honestly, which is just like I've done so much of with this thought daughter summer. And then another time is like right before bed, you know, when you can't fall asleep, but you don't want to go on your phone because you don't want to like have even more troubles falling asleep. That you just like, you kind of just, your mind just wanders, you know, and you think about like, for me, I think about like all the things I should have done this summer that I never did, or like just a bunch of stuff. Anyways, so one thing that I have thought about a lot is like, I kind of grew up like a tomboy, you know, I was very tomboy, not girly at all. And I'm not a tomboy now, but I'm not girly. You know, as I'm getting older, there's parts of me that are becoming a little more girly. Like suddenly this summer, I have started to love the smell of roses. Like this is so random and it doesn't seem very girly, but for some reason for me it is. So like I've started buying, and you know, like everything, products that have the scent of rose in it have the color pink. And when I was little, like I was disgusted by the color pink, you know? So now I have like my pink Method Rose body wash, and like I was out with my mom yesterday just getting deodorant, and I was switching my deodorant brand, and I was like, wow, I actually really like the smell of this rose one. Like I don't know what's going on with me, right? Which has led me down to like, I sometimes occasionally enjoy dressing up now, very occasionally. And I am getting senior pictures done, and I was like, well, I don't own makeup. I own blush and an eyebrow like gel, I guess. And that's it. And like, not that I think I need to wear makeup. It's more of like, I just want to start wearing it for when I go out occasionally, maybe if I want to, which I'll probably end up buying it and still not even wear it. So anyways, today I went to Sephora yesterday with my mom, and they were just trying to push me to like wear all this shit that like, not to sound cocky, but like I don't think I need it. And it just like, it didn't feel good on my skin. I was like, I feel disgusting. Like from going 23 years with having nothing on my skin and then them trying to put this like tinted moisturizer, I was like, I don't like this. So then I ended up buying these things that I'm going back today to return. And I'm going to Ulta with my little sister who knows how to wear makeup. You know, she's gonna help me just get starting stuff, you know, like a concealer and a bronzer. That's pretty much all I want. So that is like one thing that I've, you know, talked about. But I feel like it's hard kind of growing up when you were a tomboy to want to start doing girly things, because it's almost like you shouldn't be, but it's like, it's just like a weird transition, I guess, you know? I don't know how to explain it. So that's like one thing I've thought about a lot this summer. And it's not like, you're like, you know, I'm not trying to like go full cakey, but I'm also not a tomboy child running around, you know, looking like Adam Sandler, which I still enjoy my Adam Sandler fits that I have now, you know? It's a weird balance, it is, in this little phase of life that I'm going through. I bet the water's cold. Feel it.
Why am I so submissive? I think I could do better.
Bella, I don't want to do that.
Just let me have one more.
She's never in the moment, guys. Don't let her vlogs fool you. No.
Okay.
So as a thought daughter, THOUGHT daughter, I'm graduating from college in December, which means, like, you know, thought daughters, we are introspective, we are reflective, we think 5, 6, 10 years in advance. So since I graduate in December, I've been constantly thinking about, you know, how I would decorate my home, like even if it's just like a little studio apartment, whatever, wherever I move when I graduate, or, you know, if I have to live with my parents for a year, wherever, but just like what my place would look like when it's mine, you know? So I've been thinking of, like, I like to paint, not very good at it, but I like to paint. What I would paint, where I would hang it up, you know what I mean? So I was thinking for my kitchen, I kind of want something like, I don't know what almost like chic-ish. Also this summer, I have really fallen in love with like citrusy type of paints. Like I got this journal at the beginning of summer because, like I said, I'm having a thought daughter summer. So, you know, I've been journaling, of course, and my journal it's like blue background with like little lemons and oranges on it, which I love. So I was like, I really like this like citrusy blue with like the orange. Anyway, that whole vibe. But then I was like, okay, I'm actually not a huge drinker, but for my kitchen, I would want something like, if I had a little bar cart, which I do have a bar cart area in my house that I live in now, my college house with my roommates. I was like, perfect, I can hang this there until I leave. I came across this image on Pinterest. It's not gonna look nearly as beautiful as this, but it'll be, you know, crafted by these own hands. So hopefully it turns out to be decently good, but we're gonna do the best that we can and hope it turns out okay. Here we are, back in bed. It is currently 9:15. Yes, I have my phone in military time. Please don't attack me. I am a nursing major. I will be working in a hospital in literally 6 months. Oh my god. First, actually, before I close up this video, I'm gonna talk about just kind of what helps me as a thought daughter, because it can be kind of lonely, I guess. Even though, like, when you're thinking as much as I do, I think I kind of like, it's overwhelming, and it's like weirdly lonely because you're thinking about, like, I can be a room full of people, and if I'm like stressed, or even if I'm not stressed, if I'm just like not interested in the conversation, you're gonna bet that there's like a full-on 50-page book being written in my head about who knows what. Like, if you could type out every word that goes through my head a day, it would be like a dictionary, like those big dictionaries that they have that are like this wide, you know? Like, that's what would be going on in my head in a day. And that's just how I function, but it can be very lonely. So one thing that helps for me, it's different for everyone.
I did mention earlier how podcasts help. I don't know why. Like, it's just like, I think when I listen to the podcast, this could be because I'm like super delulu and think like, oh, I'm gonna be on this podcast one day. So I just like imagine myself in like the interviewee's situation. And it just allows me to, I don't know, answer questions that like I'm not thinking of on a daily basis, if that makes sense. But for some reason, even though it's super delusional of me, it helps me because then I'm like focused in on just that topic at the moment. Another thing that helps, if you've watched my vlogs in the past, you would know that I am a huge movie watcher. I love movies. If I could just rot and watch movies all the time, I would love it. So for some reason, movies, they just help me with my thoughts. And it's not, you know what, like you could kind of make the same argument for a book, but personally books, I guess the books that I'm reading don't really make me think as much as a movie does. Because, for example, right now I'm reading the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I'm on the 3rd book. You know, I'm thinking about a fairy realm. That doesn't really make me introspect about my life so much. I mean, a little bit, but not as much as like, I don't know why movies, it gets the cake for me. And I hope that you can find a little outlet for yourself as well if you are a thought daughter like me. I mentioned before, mornings, working out, and nights, peak thought daughter time. And I know as soon as this movie off to go to bed, it's just gonna be racing up there until I go to sleep. And I just feel like with our phones these days, for some people, I'm not saying this is for everyone, I feel like lately something in my brain has shifted. I don't know if it's just I'm coming closer every single day to my frontal lobe being fully developed. Something in me is just like, even when I'm on TikTok, even if I spend one day, hours a day on TikTok, it feels like, you know, my eyes are seeing the information, but the back of my mind is thinking something completely different. And I feel like when I was like 17, I watched TikToks and I would be fully engaged. But now it's gotten to the point where I am, maybe it's just because my TikTok addiction has gotten so bad that my brain has literally rewired itself to just be able to do both at the same time, which is really bad probably. Now, like, I will be watching TikToks and like I'm still thinking about things in the back of my head. I'm like, okay, you should be doing this. Oh, well, maybe you should be reading right now. And I'm like guilting myself as I'm watching TikTok, or like as I'm watching, like, you know, I just can't like fully relax anymore. And I think that's part of being a thought daughter. It's very overwhelming. You always are like, I should do this, I did this, and then you're thinking about other things. You're like, oh, well, 5 years, I don't know. That's just how I work. And it's chaotic in here, sometimes out here too. And anyway, what I'm just trying to say is, I see you. Hey, I see you. We're gonna be okay. So if you are a fellow thought daughter, comment down below. Just, you know, say hey. We can make a little club called the Thought Daughters Club. THOUGHT Club. And we can just, you know, mingle. We can talk about like what's going through our brains all the time. We can exchange ways that we like think about, like things that make us think, because we are introspective people, introspective individuals. You know, we reflect, we love to self-reflect. And I feel like when I was little, I was like, I hate reflecting. I never want to have goals. I never want to reflect in my life. That's so stupid. And now I'm constantly doing it. So comment down below if you are a fellow thought daughter. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye.